Welcome to Building Bridges. I'm Sebi.
I'm Jan.
And I'm Dave.
And this is a Eurovision podcast for the rest of us. And today, more than ever, our slogan, Building Bridges, really counts because we have a very special episode for you today and our first ever video podcast. So, Dave, do you want to explain what the project is?
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, we had the idea of maybe what would it be like if we could connect with as many podcasts as possible and see who the podcast community thought had the best song this year, or at least maybe we could rank them, do something. And that turned into a whole project, a whole scoreboard. We've been very busy. We've been working really hard on this. And we've connected with 22 other podcasts, literally from everywhere: Australia, the US, Slovakia, Poland, Norway, like all corners of Europe as well. And we've gotten the 1 to 8, 10 and 12 points from all of them. And we've compiled all of that into a scoreboard. And we're going to call them all now and basically see who the winner is.
I think we can easily say that we are also excited about this. This is probably one of our biggest projects so far, and it's also great to put a face to a name. Finally, as Sebi said before, it's our first video episode, and I think you can all tell that we are also excited about it. So I think we should, just take a look which is the favorite song of the podcasters around the world.
Yes, and the other interesting thing was because we don't have a podcast in every single country, we thought it would be unfair to let countries not vote for themselves, so they can. So if you want to turn this into a drinking game, whenever a country votes for itself, you can have a drink, and if it gives it 12 points, you can have a big drink. Or maybe not, because we don't really condone drinking. But anyway, you can have fun with it at home if you want. So yeah, I think we're good. So can we cue up the optimistic voting music?
You're good to go.
We're good to go. So let's go for our tour and see where the points are going. And I think first we're going to last year's host country, the UK.
Hey! Hello! How are you doing?
Welcome. Great to have you here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Okay, so I'm Andy.
I'm Ryan.
And we are your Eurovision queens. Yeah, we've had a podcast for
almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years. We have special episodes which are about the national finals, but also we have around 6 on the actual Eurovision finals, don't we?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you're very qualified to give a British representation, I guess, to our scores.
Hugely qualified. I mean, I can't think of anyone better.
Perfect. So where are the British 12 points going?
Wow. So the British 12 points are going to
Lithuania.
Yeah, Sylvester Bell, Lithuania.
Thank you, Andy and Ryan, for those first points from the UK. We've got Lithuania, of course, in first place with 12. And the UK 10 points went to Switzerland, and the 8 went to Estonia. And now we're calling Slovakia.
I'm representing Slovakia, and our podcast Slovakia Calling is a brand new podcast about Eurovision and first Eurovision podcast in our country. Unfortunately, we are not joining Eurovision family a few years, but we have a small but strong base of fans of this competition, and in our group or page in social media Eurovision Slovakia, we started to communicate more, and we're trying to organize OGAE club in Slovakia again. And one part of our activities was that we started with this podcast, Slovakia Calling. We started this year, and we are happy that we could join the family of Eurovision podcast aboard and across the world.
Yeah, Slovakia is very interesting because it's a country that's away from Eurovision, but certainly the fans haven't forgotten Slovakia. And there are rumors that you're coming back next year. Do you have any idea or any hope?
We have still hope, but it depends on the situation in our national broadcaster, and it's really influenced about the political situation now in Slovakia and the changes in national broadcaster. But we will see. We still hope, and our activities building the fan base and communicating each other, making a more public viewing of Eurovision or some concert is part of this of the way to join Eurovision again, and we're trying to communicate more about how Eurovision is fantastic and how could be good for Slovakia to join again to Eurovision Song Contest.
Okay, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. We'd love to see Slovakia back, of course. But let's turn our attention to 2024, to Malmö. So where is Slovakia's 12 points going?
Our 12 points going to Rim Tim Tagidide Rim Tim Tim, Croatia.
After our second jury is voted, Switzerland now 8 points ahead of Croatia and Lithuania, who have 12 each. Italy and the Netherlands in third place with 10 points each. Time now for our third jury, Greece.
Of course, who will do the honors?
I think Konstantinos is the best.
We're gonna tell him. First of all, thank you very much for inviting us to this very exciting project. We are Alcohol is Free, named of course by Alcohol is Free, our very monumental entry back into 2013. We are a Greek podcast only about Eurovision. We were founded 2 years ago, and we share the same passion here in Greece. We want to make it obvious that we are just here for the music, for all the fun. And yes, we're very excited to be here today. I'm Konstantinos, Yorgos, Yannis, or Joe in America, and Georgia.
Excellent. So now the big reveal. So where do Greece's 12 points go?
Okay, now we are leaving.
Yes. So everybody
You're gonna be in the next.
That's amazing.
We always, every year, our top is secret. Only I know
Oh, good.
who is the winner. So everybody learns it in the process.
You must be like me. You must be the statistician.
Yeah. So very unsurprisingly, our 12 points go to Greece for some reason. Even though nobody in this top has it in the first place. Just mathematically, it occurred to be in the first place.
Well, after 3 juries have voted, Switzerland's gotten 10 points 3 times. They're in the lead. Netherlands and Lithuania are very close behind, 17 points each. Italy 1 point behind them. Our next jury now is for Slovenia. You're probably going to recognize this guy, and the votes from the next podcast are in collaboration with Radio Robin from Slovenia.
Hi, this is Jan Vihar, and I'm bringing you points on behalf of Slovenian Jury. And 12 points from Slovenian Jury go to, drumroll, Croatia.
Thanks for keeping that short and sweet, Jan. And with those results from our own podcasts and the help of Radio Robin in Slovenia, we've got Switzerland still in the lead with 34 points. Right behind them, Croatia in second place with 24 points. And Italy has creeped up into third place with 22 points. Now we're going to move on to Denmark.
Hello, Denmark.
Perfect. So thanks again for being here. So do you want to tell our listeners who you guys are and what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can start. Yes. We are representing the Eurovision fan club, and we're making a radio. It's located close to our university. It's a part of our university. And my name is Victoria, and I have been here for a while now. Yes.
My name is Amalie, and I was one of the people starting the podcast back in 2020.
My name is Nikolai, and I just joined the podcast.
My name is Nana, and I also just joined the podcast.
Yeah, and my name is Anas, and I also joined the podcast maybe half year. So.
Awesome. And you guys are in Copenhagen?
Yeah, downtown.
Yeah, so this is really unique because, of course, Malmö has Eurovision, but does it feel at all for you like it's almost a home Eurovision?
Yeah, well, we're going to take the train over there for some of the shows and just go back in the evening, so it's kind of close for us.
Isn't it at all noticeable in Copenhagen? Like, is Copenhagen getting a bit more excited?
Not yet.
Not that many Danes are so excited about Eurovision, unfortunately.
Not in comparison to Sweden.
Yeah.
I hope that around like the Eurovision week that maybe there will be a little more happening.
Yeah.
Like with the Malmö Hagen show and different events in the city, but it's usually not as crazy as in Sweden.
Yes.
No.
And we're very used to now to Sweden winning. So we're kind of used to the finale being so close to us.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully your podcast will help get more Danes on board with Eurovision. And I'm glad you mentioned Malmö Hagen because our podcast is actually a media sponsor of the party. We're going to be there broadcasting from the party, so we can't wait for that. But until then, who are you giving Denmark's 12 points to?
Shall we say it?
Should we like do a drum?
Yeah.
12 points from the Danish jury
Goes to
Italy.
After 5 juries, we're about a quarter of the way there. So let's take a look at the top 5. In 5th place right now, the Netherlands with 24 points. Croatia, 29 points in 4th place. Just one more point, 30 for Lithuania in 3rd place. Italy, 34 points in 2nd place, but still holding on to a bit of a lead is Nemo for Switzerland with 42 points. Our next jury comes from Sebi's home country of Austria.
Usually we are 2. We have Alkis Vlasakakis. He's just in Greece at the moment with his parents. So you have to have me now here alone. I'm Marco Schreuder. You can say Schreuder. I'm used to that. So we are Austrian jury and both not born Austrian. So this is really the Eurovision spirit. Alkis has a Greek family. He was born in Germany and he lives in Austria. And I'm born in the Netherlands. I live in Austria and I'm married with a Romanian husband. So we are very European.
And what is Merci Chérie about?
Merci Chérie is a podcast that exists since over 150 episodes. We interview people from the Eurovision world. We also do a lot of, we look behind the scenes. Political issues are very important for us. So, and at the moment we have the Merci Jury. That means we are checking all the songs with former Eurovision participants or with other fans. So in the last episode we had Selena, who was one of the half of the Austrian duo for last year in Liverpool, and Lukas Plöschl, who became last in his semi-final in Baku 2012. And we have a lot of guests. We had what really is touching is we also interviewed older people from the years before. So, for example, I met the Austrian representative from 1963. Her name was Carmela Koren, and she was lost. No one knew where she lives, and we found her in Florida. And she was actually the first Israeli entrant, but just with the Austrian flag, 1963. And to meet her and to talk with her, it's also like, making an archive of Eurovision archives, because she died a year after this interview. So this is always very important. We also had interviews with Baccarat, we had interviews with Brotherhood of Man, so also with former, but also with new ones. We had Loreen, we had Duncan Lawrence, we had Netta. So this is what we are doing.
Okay, so where do Austria's 12 points go to?
So the Austrian 12 points go to our neighbor, Switzerland, Nemo.
After 6 juries have voted, Switzerland is still in the lead with 54 points, Italy has moved into second place with 42 points, and Croatia is holding on to third place with 34 points. Next up are some points from our amigos in Barcelona.
We are Frecuencia Eurovisiva from Catalonia, region of Spain, and we are a radio program in Catalan to talk about Eurovision and all of the world. What is Eurovision? We do interviews, we hear music, we have analysis of the different preselections, for example. All of the Eurovision world, we analyze it.
Excellent. Yeah, that's kind of like what we do, but in English. And I guess you guys have a close connection to Andorra as well.
Yes, we are united for the language. For example, we are next. Catalonia is next to Andorra, so we have a very similar culture and similar costumes.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see Andorra back next year. And then we'll have maybe another jury to call into next year.
We want it, yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, until then, where is Spain's 12 points going for the podcast vote?
Our 12 points from Frecuencia Eurovisiva juries goes to Greece.
After 7 jury votes, Switzerland is still in the lead with 54 points, but Italy is very close behind with 47 points, and Lithuania and Greece are tied for third place with 36 points. Our next points are coming from Norway.
Yes, we come from Norway. I am the Eurovision guy and Ronny is the music guy. So, well, it's no problem to be a music guy and Eurovision fan, but our concept was that I was the Eurovision fan. I was trying to turn Ronny into a real Eurovision fan. And we have been doing this now for almost 3 years.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that I go to some sort of therapy, right? Or like, it's a podcast from a fan perspective, and I'm a fan of the show as a spectacle. I'm not always fan of all the songs and the winners' songs and stuff, but I follow the spectacle, and I usually see the final, and I get some input from Anders as well. So yeah, nearly 3 years now. And my name is Ronny Burgers. I'm a radio DJ and a disc jockey from Norway, and I do this Grand Prix podcast, which is called with Anders.
Yes, and my name is Anders. I run a fan community in Norway called Grand Prix Bobla and Grand Prix Bubble, because in Norway we use the name Grand Prix on both the national final and the international final. We call it Grand Prix Norwegian final and Grand Prix the international final. And I work as a sort of motivational speaker and been a comedian, and I worked in radio as well.
Yeah. What have you done?
Stuff. No, I haven't been a plumber yet.
Thank God.
So everyone from Norway will already know the two of you in your podcast, obviously. But for now, where does Norway's 12 points go?
Shall you, Ronny? Shall we say it together?
You will have the honor, obviously.
I will have the honor. And we are very glad to present the 12 points from the Norwegian jury to Slimane and France.
Tak, Ronny and Anders, your points have put the Netherlands into third place with 38. Italy just 1 point out of the lead right now. They're in second with 53. And Nemo holding on to first place with 54, as we call Poland.
Hello, my name is Maciej and I'm one of the hosts of podcast of OG Poland called 12 Points. And our podcast has a variety of topics, and this year we actually focus on Poland, as this is the 30th anniversary of our participation in the contest. So we are discussing various issues related to Poland, such as our national finals, some ideas on our performances, and something what we called Polish Eurovision thought. So yeah, if you know a bit of Polish, you're highly welcome to join our episodes.
Yeah, I'm really curious what that Polish fault is now.
That's our idea, just to figure it out.
Excellent. So that leads us to the big question. So where are the 12 points from your podcast going?
Yes, so I'm very happy to announce that our 12 points go to Jerry Hale and Aliona from Ukraine.
After 9 jury votes, Switzerland remains in the lead with 64 points, Italy followed with 53 points, and in shared third place, Croatia and Lithuania with 43 each. And now we are calling the Netherlands.
We have a weekly podcast about Eurovision Song Contest in the Netherlands. It's called Songfestival Course, which translated is Eurovision Fever.
Okay.
And Katja Zwart and me, my name is Richard. We organize these podcasts every week, and we discuss all the news, all the entries every year. And for discussing the entries, we have a jury of 9 people, including ourselves. And it's really crazy. All those opinions about the entries are always different, always a lot of variety in it. And every now and then we also invite guests to our podcast to discuss the Eurovision Song Contest. And these guests are people from the broadcasting company in the Netherlands, but also artists who participated in the past, or just someone who knows a lot about it.
And also the podcast is part of the Telegraaf. Is it the biggest newspaper?
Yeah, it's the biggest newspaper in our country.
So you're the go-to source for Eurovision news in the Netherlands.
Yes,
absolutely. We won't deny that.
No, that's beautiful. So I feel really confident then that this is going to be a very good 12 points from your podcast. So who do they go to?
Yes, but we agree that we have to give our 12 points to the Netherlands.
Yes.
Because that song has everything. The video clip is something as a genius. It was edited so very well. The lyrics are interesting because our artist is singing about his own life, his own emotion, his loss of his parents. And especially the last 25 seconds of the song are making it so emotional that everyone is getting goosebumps.
Okay, so we are almost halfway through. 10 of juries of other Eurovision podcasts just casted their votes, and this is the current situation we have so far.
Alright, so we have Greece in 5th place with 45 points, then Croatia with 51, the Netherlands in 3rd with 54, Italy with 63, and Switzerland only 3 points ahead with 66 points, so it's very close.
Yeah, unbelievably close, which, as we've been saying all season long, I guess, is a testament to how good this crop of Eurovision songs is this year. And it's so hard to pick one, and I think day to day this could probably change as our tastes change. But anyway, it's not for us to decide. We've already voted, so let's move on to our 11th jury and our first rest of the world jury, this one coming from Canada.
Hello everyone, this is ESC 101 calling from Canada's National Capital Region. My name is Alexander and I am the host of ESC 101, a Eurovision history podcast. This year we are celebrating the 68th Eurovision Song Contest, and it is an honor to be participating in the EuroPod Jury hosted by the Building Bridges podcast. ESC 101 covers the history of the Eurovision Song Contest through the stories of artists, interval acts, hosts, conductors, all kinds of different elements of the contest. And while we usually cover history, I'm also a pretty big Eurovision fan myself, and so I like talking about the modern contest from time to time. So I am looking very much forward to the 2024 contest. And again, thank you to the Building Bridges podcast for inviting me to participate in this year's jury.
And thank you for being part of it. We love your interesting look backs at some of the stuff you might miss if you're just a casual fan. So you get a nice in-depth look at the history there of the contest. But for now, where are ESC 101's points going?
Alors, voici le résultat de CEC Center. Et finalement, les 12 points sont attribués à l'Autriche. Félicitations et merci beaucoup.
After our 11 juries, Switzerland's lead has grown a bit. Nemo has 76 points, followed by Italy with 63 points, and Baby Lasagna close behind in third place with 59 points. The next podcast we're calling is from Sverige.
Hello guys, my name is Emil Löfström and I'm the host of the podcast Eurovision Legends. I actually started during the pandemic because I was bored and Eurovision was cancelled, as you all know. And you know what? The best thing with that was that every artist was sitting home and had nothing to do. So everyone wanted to talk to me about their Eurovision experiences. So yeah, it was. I must say, I loved to do the podcast Eurovision Legends, and I can tell you a funny story about the podcast. I interviewed Edyta Górniak, the biggest artist from Poland, and well, I knew that she was huge since she had 1 million followers on Instagram. But you know, when we released the episode and they published it on her Instagram and her social medias, the server broke because there were so many people that wanted to listen to the episode at the same time. So the server broke.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the most fortunate mishap that can happen, though. That's a very...
I can tell her press agent was furious, but
oh no,
I can laugh today about it.
Yeah.
And also, you know the fan club of Eurovision, OGAE. Are you members, by the way?
No, I need to renew mine actually.
Okay. Well, it celebrates 40 years this year, and we wanted to highlight it in some way. And I mean, it's the 7th time Sweden hosts Eurovision. And since I started Eurovision Legends, I got a record deal. So I asked my record label, can't we make an OGAE song, an anthem for the fans of Eurovision? And they said yes. So we searched for a song. We find one that we really liked. That was a Melfest reject, actually. So it has been submitted to Melodifestivalen for Eurovision, but was rejected. Yeah. Everyone loved it, so we are releasing it on Friday as the official anthem for OGAE, and it's called We Are One, United by Music.
Sounds very promising.
Yeah.
I think it will be already out when this is released, so we can maybe play 2 seconds or so from it.
Please play. You can play as much as you want.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So where is Eurovision Legends 12 points going?
Eurovision Legends podcast 12 points go to Croatia.
Tak, Emil. A little change there now. We've got Croatia moving up into second place with those 12 points. They have 71 overall, still 5 points behind Switzerland, who's still in first place with 76 points. And Italy has moved down into third place. They have 63 points. And just like that, we're moving on to our first points coming in from an Irish podcast.
So I am Connor. I am one half of the founders of the Eurovision podcast. We are a podcast giving a unique Irish perspective on the Eurovision Song Contest. It's myself and Lou who mainly presented, but this year we've been joined by 2 new people, Alex Spalsmani and Michal Linden, otherwise known as Glasgow Michal if you listen to the podcast. So a good little Irish team of creators who are trying to spread the love of Eurovision to the Irish public and bring everyone together, because it's definitely an interesting time for Ireland at Eurovision, and our Renaissance era, so to say, hopefully kicking off this year. But it's that journey really, so that's us.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's time we get Ireland back into the grand final on a consistent basis.
Absolutely. Not just one here, one here, there, every year. I'm back competing for our title. We need it back from Sweden.
There you go. So,
and who doesn't want a weekend in Dublin?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait. Bring it on. So where are your big 12 points going?
So the 12 points from the Eurovision jury goes to Switzerland.
Back to find myself on track. I broke the code.
With those 12 points from Eurovision, Nemo's lead has grown. They are now in the lead with 88 points, followed by Croatia in second with 71 points, and Italy still in third with 63. And now it's time to call our first American podcast.
Yes, we are the EuroWhat. We are a pair of Americans trying to make sense of the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm Mike McComb, and my co-host is Ben Smith. Hey, Ben.
Me. Hey, Mike. Like right now we are obviously in the thick of Eurovision season. We are sort of revisiting all of the songs, bringing in special guests just to kind of help us clear the air and just sort of reconsider these things. Soon we will have the contest, and then afterwards we will go back into diving into the 65 plus years of history and interesting trends and just like whatever catches our fancy.
No, sounds good. I think you guys are one of the first Eurovision podcasts I ever listened to way back. So it's great to talk to you and have you here and be part of our jury. And we're all curious to know where your 12 points are going.
We actually rehearsed this. Ben, would you like to like to announce?
We should have talked through this. So our 12 points go to Australia.
Thanks for those points, Mike and Ben. Italy's still in third place, though, 64 points. Croatia has moved up, still in second place, but just 10 points behind Switzerland now, who's still in the lead with 88 points. And now we move on to Germany.
Hello, this is Bernard, and I'm Johannes from Eurovision Dein ESC podcast. We are in the third season in Eurovision with our podcast, and we are weekly and talk about the Eurovision Song Contest with a little bit of humor. Maybe we tried. And you'll find our podcast on Spotify and Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, and now here are the results from our jury, the German jury.
The German. So where are the German 12 points going?
Our 12 points go to the Netherlands.
Welkom in Europa, blijf hier tot ik dood ga, Europa.
Okay, so Dankeschön Deutschland for those points. And we're 15 juries in now, so let's take a quick look at the top 5. Italy hasn't gotten some points in a while, fallen down to 5th place, 64 points. Joost Klein up into 4th place with 70. Just 1 point behind our 3rd place Sylvester Belt, Lithuania, 71 points. Baby Lasagna has separated now a bit in 2nd place with a 7-point lead over Lithuania with 78 points. But still in the lead by 17 points, it's Nemo from Switzerland with 95 points. Still too early to call anything. We've still got multiple juries left, so I think we keep going. Let's call our next jury. We're going back to Ireland.
Hi, I'm Adrian from I'm Sorry 0 Points podcast.
And I'm Seamus, also from I'm Sorry 0 Points.
So we're both from Ireland, and we started our podcast drunkenly, I think, 3 years ago. And it's developed since then, and we do it practically every week from December to May. And our format is quite simple. We do news, we do reviews of songs, we do interviews. We have a lot of fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. But the main point of our podcast is at the end, where we give something 0 points every week. So Seamus will give you more about how the name came about.
Well, that was a tricky one because we weren't too sure actually what we were going to call it. And then Adrian actually came up, why don't we call it, something a bit different, and why don't we call it I'm Sorry, 0 points? And of course, this was not long after 4 countries got 0 points back in 2019. So we were like, yeah, that's different. So why don't we go with that? And yeah, it's very much just fun and tongue-in-cheek. There's no kind of negativity or anything like that. It's very much fun. And I suppose we're a podcast for fans, by the fans, So yeah, but we love what we do and it's growing year on year.
Yeah. One of the key things we do, though, is we get some of the people who listen to come on to the podcast and help us with the reviews, which is always really good fun because you get to see, or you get to meet and talk to the people who actually listen to the podcast, and they take their role very seriously when they come on. So it's a lot of fun, and we've had occasions now where we've actually met them in person as well at different Eurovision parties, which is even better fun again, because everybody's relaxed and we're not on air, if you like, and we're not recording. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sometimes they show us up, which we don't like.
Oh yeah. No, actually, more often than not, they show us up because they come in very well prepared. So, but yeah, we kind of chip away at them until we break them down.
But I think it's also a sign of the kind of Eurovision community in Ireland is growing as well. There's a lot more fans nowadays, and the OG Ireland Eurovision fan club is getting bigger and bigger. So it's great that we do get the opportunity to chat to the fans as well.
No, that's excellent, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's all about fun and getting together and meeting people, and I think a few of these podcasts that have come together for this are probably going to go for a beer in Malmo by the sounds of it when we're all done all of this. But until we get there, where are your 12 points going?
Well, Seamus, you do it.
Oh, will I? Okay.
Yeah.
So the 12 points from I'm Sorry, 0 Points podcast go to Italy.
After our 16th jury, we have a tie for third place as Italy and the Netherlands both have 76 points. Croatia sits 10 points ahead with 86 in second place, and no surprise, Switzerland is still in first place now with 105 points. Can they be caught? Let's get some points now from our friends in New York.
Hello everyone, my name is Magnus.
I'm Charlie.
And we are Mysteries of the Euroverse,
an American podcast about Eurovision. So we, have episodes with interviews with Eurovision candidates. We have episodes deep diving into, elements of Eurovision history. And we are so excited to be on Building Bridges. And the results that we're announcing are actually not our own opinions.
I know, because basically, a huge part of our podcast is introducing Eurovision to Americans, and that's also why we bring a lot of sort of American media personalities and introduce them to Eurovision, and you get to see that live. But we went to the Spot here in New York City, a bar, and we...
it's not just a spot, the spot.
The Spot, yeah, exactly. And we previewed over 4 weeks all of this year's Eurovision songs, and they were voted on live by everyone watching. So this is New York City's opinion.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like these results, don't blame us. So I think we can just get to it, right?
Dude, you're not hosting, Charlie.
Oh, I'm trying. I'm doing my best here.
Well, it sounds like it was the place to be this side of the Atlantic for Eurovision fans. So what did they decide? Who are they giving their 12 points to?
So 12 points go to
I'm going to let you host this one.
Italy.
Thank you for those points, Magnus and Charlie, and congratulations on a wonderful event in New York once again. Your points have pushed Switzerland further into the lead, up to 115 points, but now Italy has taken back second place with 88 points, and Baby Lasagna close behind in third with 86. Now we move on to Australia.
Thank you for having me. My name is Jack. I am from Camp Eurovision and formerly of the Deuce Bar podcast. And I'm so excited to be here for this. This is so exciting. I love it.
Yeah, we're having a ball. We've got about 20 podcasts together now from literally all over the world. So, yeah, so what does Camp Eurovision talk about?
Well, you know what? It's probably not too different from what every other Eurovision podcast talks about, but we're just getting off the ground, just starting anew. So hopefully in the future we'll be doing recaps, all sorts of interviews with artists and stuff like that. All the fun things, all the fun facts, and looking back on some of the really interesting and stupid moments in the history of Eurovision, because they're the best ones.
And you've got a lot to pull from there.
Yeah, the world is my oyster.
Yeah, of course. Alrighty, so where is Camp Eurovision's 12 points going to?
My 12 points for 2024 is going to Joost Klein from the Netherlands.
With those 12 points, EuroPapa moves very close to the top three, just 2 points behind our current third place Italy with 92 points. Second place Croatia with 94, and still in the lead Switzerland ahead by 21 points with a total of 115.
Woo! I always feel like obliged, like I should be giving you a good day, mate. Put a shrimp on your barbie.
Well, you just did. It's fine.
Oh, damn it. I'm a stereotype. I'm a living, walking stereotype.
I mean, we all are. It's fine. It's okay. So, yeah, so tell us about 12 points.
Well, despite the name Deuce Bar Podcast, how could I describe it? It is, well, look, it's 100% Australian, it's 50% serious, but it is 1000% Eurovision. Actually, that is a lie because it's 80% Eurovision. It's 25% me telling random stories about my cat.
Yeah, I agree. I've been listening for years, and I can vouch that is 100% true. So,
thank you. There is also, I'm here obviously to be, from the start, I want to make it very clear that I am anti-pants. I'm not wearing pants for this interview. I will not be wearing pants for Eurovision. That's the other thing that we talk about a lot during the podcast is how much we hate pants.
Mm. That's a fair point, and that's why we're not filming this.
You and your rules.
I know, I have to. It's YouTube's rules, but anyway, it's fine. So we have to say it. It's too iconic. Where are 12 points going?
Oh, this was such an exciting year. Now, I've had to change. Am I here? How am I feeling? Like anything, this is 100% going to change after the performances, maybe. Because to me, the performances are everything. But where we are standing at the moment, I have to be honest, all of our 12, we are going 12 points, 12 to Croatia. Woo!
My anxiety is set.
Our 19th jury has just voted, and of course Switzerland is still in the lead with 121 points. Closing the gap is Croatia with 106 points and Italy in third with 92 points. Now we're getting points from our final rest of the world jury.
Good evening, Europe. Good morning, Australia. Hello, the rest of the world. We are the Evangelists, a podcast hosted by the wonderful Maximum Fun Network about everything that has to do
do with the Eurovision Song Contest. We do coverage during the season. We do reviews of old Eurovisions. We examine artists on the individual level. We do interviews. We do whatever it takes to spread the word about this amazing little event that we call Eurovision. I'm Dimitri Pompey. I'm a television writer. Here are these other two guys.
Nailed it.
Hi, I'm Oscar Montoya. I'm a comedian and actor and a massive Eurovision fan.
I'm Jeremy Bentz. I'm a voice actor and a podcaster, and I know the least about Eurovision, but I'm there to act as a buffer between our two super Eurovision fans so that things don't get too out of hand.
That is the appeal of our show. If you are a new fan, we have plenty of stuff to get you up to speed. If you're a longtime fan, we're going to dive deep into the weird, wild, and actually quite inspirational moments in Eurovision history so we can look back and celebrate this thing all the way from the beginning to the modern day when hopefully every country in Europe is a part of Eurovision. So it's like 60 countries at one point.
Well, I guess I'll ask you the question that I get fairly often as a non-European. How did all this start? How did you find it? How did you get obsessed with it? And where did the podcast come from?
Well, I mean, if you want that answer in full, you have to listen to episode 1 where we talk about all that. But we can do it a short version.
Maybe the 30-second version.
The 30-second version. I discovered the contest 21 years ago. I was listening to the BBC radio after being grounded. My parents had taken my video games, my computer, everything from me except a radio. I discovered NPR that same weekend. NPR turned into the BBC at night, and I remember because it was May 24th, 2003, when for the first time in Eurovision history, the United Kingdom earned a 0. And that's all the United Kingdom was talking about. It was the top coverage of BBC News. I had to find out what this Eurovision thing was because they wouldn't shut up about it. I haven't missed one since.
Wow, it's incredible. Thank you, Gemini, for opening Dimitri's love for Eurovision. I got into Eurovision as my pandemic hobby. We all know in the year 2020, for the first time ever, the Eurovision Song Contest was canceled. And at the time, I read an article about it and I was like, what is this? This doesn't, what do you mean in Europe they have a Super Bowl but for singing? That's so weird. And I saw the videos of all of the national entries that year and became like fully in love. I blame Daddy Freyer, Think About Things for like really getting me hooked. And you know, I've watched every single Eurovision Song Contest since during the pandemic. That just like became my obsession. And I got to meet Dimitri through Jeremy, who I knew from New York, and the rest is history.
It really is amazing that you did what I did over the course of 20 years over one during the pandemic.
And a shout out to Dathi, who's making his US TV debut on Bob's Burgers as well.
Hey,
awesome.
Wow.
So cool.
I just went to a Eurovision party that Dimitri hosted 2 years ago, and now I have a Eurovision podcast.
Yeah, I've converted a lot of friends along the way through good snacks and alcohol, I gotta say, every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it
It
takes.
works. It works.
The big question is, where are your 12 points going?
Well, in the tradition of Corolla, we have no choice but to give a 17-minute speech before we give those points. When I was a young man born in the year of 19... Just kidding. Wait, no. Okay, fine. Do you want the 12 or do you want all of them?
Just the 12.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Because
who wants to do it?
People watching on YouTube can see your 1 to 10 on the screen right now.
Okay. Fair enough. Who wants to do it, gang?
You
do.
All right. Well, coming from the Evangelists podcast, we may not know about these drugs, but we do know that our 12 points are going to Vice Minusta and Pull Up, Estonia!
Thunder and lightning. It's getting exciting. We have the votes in now from 20 podcasts across the world. We're going to visit 3 more. That means that we're almost at the end, and mathematically, I'm sorry, in our top 5, Lithuania, you are no longer
able to win with 77 points and just 3 juries to go. But the top 4, any of these countries still in the running. In 4th place is the Netherlands with 98 points for EuroPapa. Italy, La Noia, 102 points in 3rd place. Just 11 points behind 2nd place Croatia with 113. Baby Lasagna is just 8 points behind Nemo, who's currently in the lead for Switzerland with 121 points.
So the name of our podcast is Grand Prix Schadet Nie. That's German for Grand Prix
doesn't hurt
anyone. It never damages anyone. Something like that. Yes, and we're 4 guys who really love to talk about Eurovision, and every episode we talk about specific topics. For example, we did an episode about commentaries last week. And in the end of the episode, we always talk about our opinions about the songs for this Eurovision 2024. We do seasons. We start at the German pre-selection and we end our podcast at the Eurovision Song Contest final. And we're now in our 3rd season this year, and it's doing a lot of fun. The 12 points.
We sang so well. No.
Yes. The 12 points of the podcast Grand Prix Schadet Nie are going to
Switzerland!
I just gave it some time. Now I found back.
After 21 juries, any of our top 3 could still win. We have Italy in 3rd place with 112, followed by Croatia with 117, and still Switzerland in the lead with 133 points. Et le prochain jury est la France. Bonsoir.
Hello Dave, hi everyone, thank you for having me. My name is Thomas and I'm the producer and host of 12 Point podcast in French, I should say, because we are the number 1 podcast in French around Eurovision Song Contest.
And it's a very interesting title too, Le Podcast qui décrypte l'Eurovision. So where did that title come from?
Well, we will like to be able to share the meaning of our podcast for non-fan around Eurovision Song Contest, and so for them, in order to understand that 12 points, it's related to the Eurovision Song Contest. So we have to put this subtitle. It didn't exist at the beginning, but we have added after to bring more people listening to us.
Okay, and where are the 12 points going from the French jury?
For the French jury this year, the 12th point goes to Switzerland. We have to thank... Switzerland!
With 1 more jury left, our jury from France has just given the win to Nemo and Switzerland. Congratulations! Now our final jury will help decide the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th places, as we have 3 countries very close for those spots. Currently it's the Netherlands in 4th place with 112 points, Italy has 3rd place with 117 points, and Croatia is just 6 points ahead in 2nd place with 123 points. Our final jury is representing this year's host country, so hey Sverige!
Thank you, hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so happy you're here. We can't wait to hear how your vote went.
Sure, it's been a very interesting process collecting all the points. My podcast is called 12P or 12 points, which translates to 12 points, 12 points. It's a podcast in Swedish about Eurovision Song Contest and Melodifestivalen. I love Eurovision and Melodifestivalen, not surprisingly. And it's basically a bunch of serial documentaries about all the things Eurovision, because there are so many fabulous podcasts about Eurovision and what happened, what the new entries are like and anything, but there aren't that many podcasts about the historical and political impact that Eurovision has had on history, which is what my podcast is about. I think it's time for us to take Eurovision seriously.
Yeah.
Oh.
Excellent. So, yeah.
Okay, so you had an interesting way of collecting your points this year as well.
I did. I usually have like an annual extravaganza where me and my other Eurovision fanatical friends score all the entries. But sadly, that is it was a bit delayed. So I had to include my listeners, which has been a really, really fun process. So we've had at least, I'd say, about 30 different jurors giving me the points, and it's been a wide spread. And essentially what they did is that they ranked their top 10s, and I delegated the points accordingly. And the fun thing is that all entries, every single entry received points, meaning that every single entry is in someone's top 10.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to how good the year is. Yeah.
It's so true. It's a very diverse spread, to say the least.
Yes, when Eurovision comes to Sweden, all the countries raise the game a little bit.
I love that. That's why you have to keep voting for Sweden.
Yes.
Not a problem here. So shall we run through your points and see who's going to win the podcast vote of 2024?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. The listeners of 12 points, have delegated their votes as such. 1 point goes to Luxembourg.
Okay. Sebi, do you want to do the French? Do you want to make it all official?
Luxembourg, 1 point.
There you go.
2 points go to Lithuania.
La Lituanie, 2 points.
3 points go to Switzerland.
La Suisse, 3 points.
4 points go to United Kingdom.
Le Royaume-Uni, 4 points.
5 points go to Austria.
L'Autriche, 5 points.
6 points go to Spain.
L'Espagne, 6 points.
7 points go to Sweden.
La Suède, 7 points.
8 points go to Italy.
L'Italie, 8 points.
10 points go to Croatia.
La Croatie, 10 points.
And finally, our 12 points, 12 points, go to the Netherlands.
Les Pays-Bas, 12 points.
Congratulations to Nemo and Switzerland for being the first ever winner of the Eurovision podcast votes. And thank you so much to all the podcasts who participated in this project. It was really beautiful to build bridges, literally, to all these different countries and people. And we made a lot of new friends, for sure.
Yes, and I've got to give a thanks as well. I mean, all these podcasts, like finding them, communicating with them, trying to find 5 or 10 minutes to meet over Zoom at all hours across multiple time zones. It was a huge endeavor, so thanks to everybody for helping us make it work. And I think I can agree for all of us that next year we'd like to come back and make this bigger and better. So maybe we'll find some more podcasts next year in some new countries and build some more bridges next year. What do you think?
I totally agree with that. And as both of you guys said, it was really a huge project. And in case if we missed anyone, and if you think that you should be included in the results for next year, don't hesitate to reach us on our social media, and don't forget to check our website buildingbridgespod.com, where all the Eurovision news are waiting for you. And yes, thank you to all of you, and we see you in Malmö and everywhere else.
In a few days. I can't believe it.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Hey, dog.
Bye. Take care.